wherever you are around the world. Happy to wish you a very happy Easter indeed. I am your host and commentator for this race, Adam Burns. For those of you familiar with Formula Euro League, you'll know that I'm a co-commentator for the main tier Formula Euro League, which will come later on today, which I'll also be involved in. So if you're around, do tune in for that race as well. So we are here live, just about to start qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix of the Formula Champions League 2, which is the second tier of Formula Euro League. As we've got a full grid ready and about to get started, let's tune straight in for qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix of Formula Champions League 2. If you are new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's Formula_Euro_League as well. And you can also follow us on Instagram as Formula Euro League and also Formula FEL Champions League 2 as well on Instagram. That is this tier, the second tier of Formula Euro League. And we're very happy to have you here wherever you are around the world. Of course, it is Easter, the Easter bank holiday, for those of you that celebrate it, or if you don't, that's absolutely fine. Always an excuse to stuff ourselves merrily with chocolate. As we're about to get underway, I should say, for qualifying. Some of the drivers preparing their setups now for the Brazilian race. And Brazil is a very, very tough track to get to grips with. And the first man out to try and tackle the Interlagos circuit is AMC F33 in the Haas. There's a new driver in for this race, as he is temporarily replacing the regular Haas driver, who are known as Olav Mol, not available to race this weekend. Remains to be seen if he will be available for the remainder of the season. But today AMC for F33_ has an opportunity to prove his worth in the Haas. Can he outperform Ola? Can he impress the Haas team to give him maybe a more permanent drive? Or perhaps another team that may have a slot may give him a permanent drive as well. Of course, if you are new to Formula Euro League or Formula Champions League as well, and that's FEL_ Champions League 2, as AMC takes a very wide line to open up the straight, and he's going to be the first man to set a time in qualifying. Let's go to the first corner now. So, as we go through into qualifying, this is a sad note to bring you before we get going. It's unfortunately, I'm afraid that we have lost a legend of the sport. The very late and very, very great Stirling Moss unfortunately has died today. He's passed away at the age of 90 years of age. It's a very sad loss for world motorsport and for British motorsport as well. And Stirling Moss, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the name, arguably the greatest driver to have never won the Formula 1 World Championship. He's a 16-time race winner, competed in the Formula 1 World Championship between 1955 and 1961, came runner-up on 4 of those seasons and 3rd in the remaining seasons. Just like to wish all the best and condolences to his family and friends, and dedicate this broadcast and the broadcast for this evening to his memory. So Stirling Moss was an absolute legend. May he forever rest in peace and rest in the memory of Formula 1 fans alike for many years to come. So the first time across the line from AMC F33, fastest of all, 1 minute 8.4. Not a bad first lap. Just Mortal coming across the line, second fastest in the Racing Point. So for those of you unfamiliar with the format, it's 18 minutes, short, one qualifying session for everyone. Massive opportunity for some of the young drivers. Roy Boy in the sister Racing Point goes fastest of all. It'll be interesting to see what they can do, of course. If you haven't seen the first race, I definitely recommend that you do. If you haven't seen the Austrian Grand Prix already, quick opportunity now to quickly tune this video off and tune into that one to avoid any spoilers. Okay, that's enough of an opportunity. So yes, Pluisenbol in the Ferrari. Pluisenbol, yes, Pluisenbol 3, that's the right pronunciation. Yes, was winner. Was sorry, winner first time, I get my words muddled up there. Winner first time out in the Austrian race. He leads the championship after the first victory. Can he continue on his top form for this race and beyond that, as he's now setting his fastest time? So can Plusenbold continue his great form in the Ferrari after winning the inaugural Formula European League Champions League event, which is the second tier of Formula Euroleague, as I've mentioned already? Or how about this man, Matthias Gamer, runner-up in the Austrian Grand Prix, drove a great race as well. Can he get onto the top step of the podium? Or our fastest driver at the moment, Roy Boy in the Racing Point, who's just putting on a new set of tyres after his first run. Can he go one better on third? Or will we see a new driver? Of course, we're still very early in the season. A lot of great runners in the campaign. And King Enzo has already retired from the session. And TTVI Quicks has also gone as well. So, let's go through as Plusenbold comes across the line and set his opening time, and he is nowhere. So, 11 fastest or 1:11.0, expecting a lot more from him as the session progresses on. But he's set his time on the meter system, and Jaffa Baboon blocking the pit lane. Very strange incident there, disqualified from qualifying. As you can see, yes, it's disqualified from this. I'm not sure what happened there, if he exited the pit lane and tried to brake on the way out, and that's the last thing he would have wanted. So let me know, guys, who do you think is going to score on pole position? Of course, I am new to this league as well. It's a very brand new league. So let me know. Say hi in the chat as well, as I'll be keeping an eye on that one. And of course, it's exciting to be involved in Formula Euroleague and the expansion of its second division. Plenty of great drivers, some that I'm familiar with, some that I'm not, and that's okay. Great opportunity for some of the young drivers to showcase their skills. Going through is MES Compassion 99 in the Red Bull, goes third fastest overall. Very quick driver, made his debut in Vision Racing League last week in Japan, which is where we'll be going for the Formula Euro League event later this evening, and that's on at 6:45 UK time, 7:45 European time on the Formula_Euro_League YouTube channel. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll look forward to see you for that race later on as we ship across the world to Japan in record time. Not even Concorde can travel to Japan from Brazil as quickly as we will be this evening. So now Plusenbold goes even quicker, does a lot more representative of his pace. However, those medium tyres are 2 laps old, well 3 or 4 laps old if you include the out laps as well, so I'm not sure if he's going to be happy being able to continue on that time. It's just Mortal Veloz in the Racing Point, improves, and now he's about to start his next flying lap. Let's go on board with him now. So he'll be looking to pick up his pace. Racing Point looking very good so far after the first race of the season, after the first race of the Formula Euroleague Champions League. That's a bit of a mouthful, we're probably going to have to change that at some point. I'm sure Formula Euroleague Division 2 or Tier 2 would suffice, but nonetheless, we'll stick with the name for now. Of course, Racing Point, 15 points on the board from the opening race after that podium from Roy Boy. Just_Mortal Veloz will be hoping to try and add to that after his 11th place finish in Austria. He'll be looking to get in the points this time around. Off screen we have Avesta Racing, second fastest, from the pits. It's just Mortal Veloz, he's improved in the first 2 sectors. It's going to be very tight at the front. It's not much to call Brazil, and it's usually very tight in qualifying as he goes left, shortest route to the line, and goes across the line. He does not improve, so he's just shy of his opening time, but he'll have plenty of opportunities to go around and improve. Plenty of time. As I said before, 18 minutes qualifying shootout. Fastest 10 drivers in dry conditions will start the race on the tyres they set their first time, and the remainder will get the free choice of tyre for the rest of the race. Of course, that is in dry conditions. If you cast your mind back to the Formula Euroleague race, the top tier, you'll remember that that was a wet race, so it didn't really matter what times the drivers done. So we'll go further down the order. What is the chasing pack doing? Well, Ice-T, 56 in the Renault. has done quite a lot of laps on these medium tyres, although it looks like there might be fresher tyres on his car now. Let's see what his first sector time looks like. So he's improved in the opening sector. And he'll be looking to try and see if he can find some more pace as the lap goes on. Of course, Renault have not yet scored any points in this championship, so a lot of pressure on their drivers. Ice-T and KJ Eltink, who's about to start his first run. As I was saying, let me know, guys, where you are watching from as well. It's great to hear and see where you are watching from around the world. Of course, we try to reach as much of a bigger audience as well. I realise it's a European league, but of course, as Ice-T completely loses it out of the final corner, and that's another lap ruined, and that is not what he would have wanted. So Junior SP AML2, that's a mouthful in its own right, is coming through the final corner now. A little bit of traffic, we managed to avoid Ice-T's Renault, as he's now going to come through, stick to the left-hand side, the shortest route to the line. What is this time going to be for him? What's the Williams driver going to do? And he does not improve. So some of the drivers not really finding major improvements. There's now with Marcus, who's well off the pace from his previous time. And now Collie. Didn't score in Austria. We'll be hoping to try and put that right this time around. Let's go further up the order. See, AMC is in the first sector, so he's off in sector 1. We're back with Collie in the Mercedes. Of course, it's a beautiful day in the Sao Paulo sunshine, packed to the rafters in the stands of passionate Brazilian fans, hoping to see their favourite Formula Euroleague and Formula Champions League drivers doing battle to try and see who can be fastest overall. 7 minutes left to go in qualifying. Roy Boy in the Racing Point, still topping the timesheets after his first time. But I'm sure the times will start to tumble. I'm expecting pole to be in the 1:07s. Can anyone get there? And Collie goes 6th fastest in the Mercedes. So that's an improvement. Great effort from him to go 6th fastest overall. Bowl looks like he's abandoning in that lap. As AMC, slight improvement from him. Not this time around. Still 4th in the Haas. Not a bad effort though on his debut, replacing Olamov. And obviously we'll be trying to stake a claim to try and see if he can get into that Hussey on a more permanent basis. So maybe one of the other teams, of course, a lot of reserve drivers that have to qualify to take part in these events when main drivers are not available or seats open up. Of course, plenty of them will be hoping to stake a claim to try and see if they can make their way into the main roster. MES_Compassion 99. A couple of attempts up in the opening sectors. This is going to be very tight. This could be fastest of all, and it is fastest of all. 1 minute 8.0, so just shy of the 1:07s, but he's a good 3 attempts ahead of Roy Boy. Now the track's rubbering in, the track's getting faster. It's not an easy circuit, it's quite a technical challenge as well, especially in the middle sector. So it's important to get the setup, the balance between speed and downforce just right, and looks like MES Compassion has got a good balance there, unlike Roy Boy, who's got a very loose rear end there. A bit too much speed, the car can handle it. And Ice-T has left the session in the Renault, so having a bad time of it in qualifying, the Renault driver and Renault need an improvement in performance. Both their drivers are right down the bottom of the order. As now with Avesta Racing in the Williams, can he improve? He's a 10th up in the opening 2 sectors. Can he find some time? He gets through and he's 2nd fastest onto the front row of the grid, and Ice-T has rejoined the session, which is good. So obviously it was a disconnection issue. He's back in, but Avesta Racing in the Williams goes 2nd fastest of all. Now Matthias Gamer, our runner-up from the Austrian race. And for those of you that still didn't tune over and didn't want spoilers, well, I'm sorry. I can only hold my tongue for so long, guys. But it was a great race. I definitely recommend that you watch it, even if you know the results. And if that's anything to go by, we are in for a treat this season. As Tier 2, plenty of drivers with the aim of getting into the main Formula Euroleague for next season, which has already been won. A few races left to go in that season, won by Thomas Duffy for 114 in the Williams. Champion after his win in Canada. Great result for him. And of course, congratulations to the Williams team in Formula Euroleague. They are the champions of Season 4 in the Constructors. My co-commentator Matthias usually commentates on that, won't be available today, sadly. Congratulations to him, his team successful, and Matthias Gamer really getting squirmish through that middle sector. He's pushing hard, but probably almost too hard. And Hechtkamper, bit off screen there, has just gone second fastest. Hechtkamper used to drive in Vision Racing League from memory, but he's done a great lap there, 1 minute 8.07, just a hundredth of a second shy of MES_Compassion in the Red Bull. So Racing Channel saying no Lucas. And Lucas is saying, sorry, so in response to Luke saying, Tier 2's faster than Tier 1. Well, from memory from the Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying, it wasn't quite at that pace. Not too far off though, it's a lot of quick drives. See, the entire field, with the exclusion of the bottom 4, are all separated within 2 seconds. That's not bad. If you want to go further than that, the top 12 drivers all separated by 7/10 of a second, so it's very tight around Brazil. Of course, very difficult to gain time on this track, but it's very easy to lose time. And now the drivers, just a few minutes left to go, guys. And Matthias Gamer, well, he wasn't really on much of a lap anyway, but he completely lost at the rear end. Ploossenbol now dons on the softer tyres now, so the alternate strategy seems to have gone out of the window for everybody, given how tight it is at the front. The delta between soft and mediums is around about 6 or 7/10 of a second around this track, which is quite a lot. And Ploossenbol has decided to give up the ghost on the mediums and don the soft tyres. Of course, I don't know what the race weather forecast is going to be. So if you do know, have any ideas what it's going to be, do let me know, guys. Of course, we had a dry qualifying session last time out, but yes, as Racing Channel was just pointed out in the chat, it was in wet conditions. In the race, the drivers had wet setups, and Ploossenbol was getting held up by the Red Bull, who's completely got in the way on the line there, and that's not very sporting there. It's completely wrecked. That was a pole sitter, Compassion there. Completely got in the way of Ploossenbol, and he will not be happy about that. We'll see if Ploossenbol returns the favour when he slows down. He abandons that lap, and that could be his qualifying over. For Ploossenbol, there's not really any time left. And Compassion, as you can see, about to do his lap, but Ploossenbol has completely returned the favour and got in his way. So now, last few minutes of this qualifying session, who is going to be on pole, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know. Who do you think is going to be on pole for this one? Will it be this man, Avesta_Racing? He's got a toe behind the Alfa Romeo. Sets a purple sector 1. Goes very wide. There as the Alfa Romeo tries to get out of the way. And Roy Boy also on a lap as well. 4th fastest overall. Doesn't improve. And now we're with Avesta_Racing. What can he do? Compassion behind on the road, but he's been held up by Ploossenbol. We'll have to see what Ploossenbol's doing. Is he still on a lap? Well, he's actually improved massively. He's a lot faster this time around. He's got a massive toe. So this could be challenging for the pole time. And he's right behind the Williams getting a huge toe. Is this going to be fastest? It is fastest. Ploossenbol goes fastest of all, 1 minute 8.035. What a great lap from him. And Avesta_Racing now, what is he going to do? He's well off in the middle sector, so this one is not going to set the record books. So Ploossenbol goes fastest of all, ahead of MES_Compassion 99, who held him up on his previous lap. And Ploossenbol manages to get one over him and goes fastest of all. And Hechtkamper was just slightly off the pace in the first sector, but he's off pole. So it's all to play for. Can Hechtkamper improve? Can he find the time that he needs to get himself on the front row or even pole position? The top 5, or top 4 I should say, separated by less than 1/10 of a second. And Hechtkamper is miles off in the middle sector, and Compassion gives up the ghost. He's happy to settle for second, so no pole position for him. And Hechtkamper well off in the middle sector. What's his time going to be as he comes across the line now? And well, he's given up the ghost on that one. Avesta_Racing, a couple of attempts off in the middle sector. What's his final sector going to be like? as it comes through the final corner. It's not really a corner in Formula 1 car. Comes to the left-hand side, shortest route to the line as he hugs the wall, and he does not improve. Matthias Gamer now comes across the line very slowly indeed, and that looks to be qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So that is qualifying for the Formula Euroleague Champions League Tier 2 Brazilian Grand Prix. Yes, I realise that is an absolute mouthful indeed. So just a round of qualifying. Pluisenbold continuing his great form in the Ferrari. The race winner from the Austrian Grand Prix is on pole position. MES_Compassion 99 in the Red Bull joins him on the front row. Heckkamper in the Toro Rosso. Great effort from him. He is third behind the front two. Vesta_Racing in the Williams, again within a tenth of a second. He is fourth. And then Roy Boy, runner-up. Sorry, not runner-up, on the podium in Austria, starts fifth. AMC F33 in his debut for Haas, sees sixth fastest. The two McLarens with SHIMDJ and Matthias Gamer, and then Collie in ninth, and FEL_Freeze, the two Mercedes, ninth and 10th position. So now we are about to start the race, ladies and gentlemen. Half race distance, 50%. So if my maths is right, that should be around... Oh, you know, when you're on the spot, you almost forget how to do maths. Almost like it's not like I'm an accountant for a living or anything like that. Oh wait, I am. So yes, about 35 laps. As we can see, clouds hovering over for the race conditions, overcast. So yeah, let me know who you can think. So some of the guys, Donkey saying Heckkamper thinks he's going to win. Darth FIFA, our EuroLeague champion. Congratulations on your title, if that is indeed you. I'm assuming it is. I'm going to look to see if it's not. Reckons Compassion is going to win. Racing Channel reckons Kaj is going to win. Well, it's a long way to go. So plenty of different opinions as well. Steve Verloy, otherwise known as Magic Alonso, reckons Lucas Rouse. So it'll be great to see how that goes. So now we'll just start the formation lap, ladies and gentlemen. 36 laps of Brazilian Grand Prix running around this anti-clockwise circuit, one of the 5 anti-clockwise circuits. So I'll ask you, ladies and gentlemen, Brazil obviously being, and this could be the question for this race. I know some of you familiar with my commentary enjoy doing my questions, so how about this one? So at the moment in the current Formula 1 calendar, 2020 included, there are 5 anti-clockwise circuits, with Brazil being one of them. Let me know what the other 4 are. See who can be the first to get that one right. So what are the 5 anti-clockwise? Brazil being one, what are the other 4? Of course, this Brazilian Grand Prix is the venue of many championship battles in the past. Of course, the famous 2008 championship finale. Is that Glock? Not today, but it was in 2008 where Lewis Hamilton won his first of 6 Formula 1 World Championships here. It was also a year after that, before that event, was where he went into the title race leading and lost out by a point to Kimi Raikkonen, who won his one and only title for Ferrari, which is also Ferrari's last World Championship. Amazingly so, the most successful team in Formula 1, still without a championship title. Hopefully for the Ferrari fans out there, it will not be long before they taste glory once again. If anything, Mercedes will have anything to do about it, I'm sure. They'll try and make that wait a bit longer. But now we'll line up to the grid, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get underway for 36 laps of lightning speed racing all around the Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo. The Brazilian fans in their droves today, in their massives, with the flags out. A very passionate group of fans ready to cheer on these gladiators on the grid. There's GPRL Jaffa Baboon. What my favourite racing name, who I discovered was actually Alex, a co-commentator for VRL F1 most recently. So good luck to him, although he's going to need luck to recover after qualifying, as the grid is now assembled, as we're about to wait for the lights. Here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. It is time to go racing. So it's a good getaway off the line from Pluisenbold and the Ferrari, but MES Compassion gets a decent getaway too. The Haas of AMC F33 gets a good getaway, so all bound into turn 1. Are we going to avoid any collisions? And no, we are not going to have some collisions. And there's a massive collision, there's a massive pile-up. Started off by one of the racing points by the looks of it. Let's go through as they're all trying to get out, and it's a virtual safety car straight away off the line, just when we thought we might end up without any contact. Could they keep it clean? And the answer to that is no. It looked like one of the racing points was very heavily involved. It was Roy Boy who got tangled up in all of that, with one of the top, with Heckkamper as well. So those two got tangled going into turn one. That has caused this virtual safety car. So what a shame for those two. Qualified so well, but it's completely ruined their races so far. Now, will they have damage? Let's have a look at this car. They've got damage on Roy Boy's car. Heckkamper as well, looks like he's got damage as well. You could expect to see some drivers pitting as we're about to get underway again, back into green flag racing, so we didn't have to wait long for this one now. The Brazilian Grand Prix is back underway now, as Plusenbowl leads the chasing pack, followed by MES Compassion 99, AMC F33 on his debut in the Haas now, trying to fend off Avesta Racing, who's got a great run on him. Is he going to make a lunge up the inside? Not this time around. It's further down the order, and Kingski has gone into the pits to fix the damage on his car. And just to say, the Renault of Ice-T was up into 8th place off the start, and GBRL Jaffa Baboon also up to 10th, and they were at the very back of the grid, so managing to avoid the incidents. And they're now further up the field already, and those are on the hard tyres, so it'd be good to watch them out. Very quick drivers, so it'd be good to keep an eye on their pace as this race continues. As now one of the other drivers got caught up, and that was Matthias Gamer, a runner-up in Austria, in the pits to repair damage on his car, putting on the medium tyres. Roy Boy putting on the hard tyres, so he's going to be going long into this race. Many of these drivers will try one stop, although the two-stopper might be faster today, but it depends on what happens. Other incidents may change that, but I'm sure if some drivers may decide to go for a one-stop in this race. The TTV iQuicks trying to follow closely behind Ice-T and the Renault. Ice-T struggling already. MES Compassion setting the fastest lap of the race up the front. All over the back of Plusenbowl. He's right there. That Scarlet Ferrari can feel the wake of his exhaust fumes already all over that Red Bull, and it's definitely going to harm his aero package. That turbulent air is really going to harm the Red Bull following behind, especially on a technical circuit like Brazil. It's going to have a hard time trying to get past. Near field freeze right behind Jaffa Baboon as TTV Quicks tries to go through, move up the inside in the sister Ferrari. Can he make the move stick on Ice-T? Ice-T gives him just about enough room, but he couldn't quite get through there. Excellent defensive driving from him. Very fair indeed. That battle continues. Matthias Gamer tries to go around the outside of King Kiski. The Toro Rosso, he's going to get a great run coming out turn one as iQuicks gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As now Matthias gets a great run. He's on fresh medium tyres. He's going to make the move stick around the inside. He goes for the lunge. It's very tight. Both of them racing very hard together, but it looks like he's going to make that move stick, and that's a great move from Matthias. But is King Kiski going to go for a move up the inside here? It's very tight, very hard racing between the two of them, and he's got back ahead, but he's gone just a bit wide. Is that going to allow Matthias Gamer to come back in? You've also got Max behind the pair of them in the Red Bull. Is he going to be able to find a way in? This is a big battle going forward as Jaffa Baboon trying to make a move on Quicks as we go back to the leaders again. As Jaffa Baboon has made the move up into 9th place, but now we've got MES Compassion 99 battling for the lead with Plusenbowl. As Quicks has gone further down the order, there's a freeway battle for 9th, 10th and 11th, and FEO_Freeze in the Mercedes has moved up into the points pan positions. The TTV iQuicks has lost 2 places in the space of a corner, but he's going to try and get one back. He's going to try and make the move around the inside of FEL Freeze in the Mercedes. Ferrari versus Mercedes for 10th and 11th. Didn't think I'd see that anytime soon, but TTV iQuicks has got back into the points, back into 10th place, and this battle resumes. This is some great racing. Now further down the field, we've got Matthias trying to battle with Max again. Matthias has lost 2 places to King Kiski and Max as well in the Red Bull, and he's got YWR Marcus behind him in the Alfa Romeo, so battles everywhere you look as Marcus goes from moving the inside. Very ballsy, very lunge, and he shoved Matthias out of the way, and Matthias has been sent into a spin. Is he going to make contact with Junior? No, he does not this time around. That's very unfortunate. And Matthias's race has got from bad to worse now. And Avesta tries to make a move once again in the battle for third place, the final podium spot. AMC F33 doing well on his debut so far, but he's having a hard time keeping Avesta up behind him, who is looking so much faster. And now Williams is almost shoved to the outside of turn 3, struggling to catch my breath and keep up. But Avesta with the DRS goes to the outside, and he makes that move stick, and he holds on to it. Third place, great move from him. AMC F33 did his best, but he couldn't keep Avesta behind for too long. Up into the podium he goes, and now the battle for 9th, 10th and 11th again, and 12th now, with KJ Eltink joining the battle in the Renault, so his race pace is improving despite his poor efforts in qualifying. Now he's going to go further up the field as Max has gone up the outside, I should say, into turn 1, and is ahead of King Kiski. So the sister Red Bull trying to move up the order now to see if he can improve his race, just as his teammate is further ahead. But now he's going to have to fend off King Kiski and the Toro Rosso, who's going to try and get back at him into turn 4. Can he make this one stick? No, he's not close enough this time around. So now Max, can he pull away from the chasing Toro Rosso behind? Battles everywhere you look, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying this sort of racing, please do let us know. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Not many online virtual racing leagues that you will find racing quite as tight at this. And it's great to see a brand new league. You almost worry that this field would be spread out, but not today. Lots of racing everywhere you look. It's sort of shame they've only got the one camera to view it all. So now we're already 6 laps into the race now. As AMC still sticking with Avesta Racing, so great to see, hasn't quite fallen off him yet. And Ice-T cutting a very lonely drive at the moment in 8th place, started right at the back after his poor showing in qualifying. But he's well out on his own in 8th position. He's probably enjoyed himself. It's a nice Sunday afternoon drive out in Sao Paulo. Could think of worse places to be right now. As now the battle continues as iQuicks and Freeze battling out for the last championship points. It's very tight between those guys. And King Kiski, they've done the order now, fending off YWR. Marcus in the Alfa Romeos. Jaffa Baboon gets a time penalty. Further down as we're back with the race leader once again. Plusenbowl still only 6-7 tenths ahead. He just cannot shake off the Red Bull. DRS really playing its part on this circuit. The opening 2 sectors is really where you can gain on the driver in front of you in DRS. As you can see, AMC F33 not fallen off. The middle sector is where the setups really make the difference to show you who's got it right and who's got it wrong. As there's been a position change in 11th place, so KJ Elting has just passed FEO_Freeze, so he's fallen back behind, and the Renault driver has managed to make the move stick this time. Great move from him, and Marcus has got ahead of King Kiski. As King Kiski gets a 3-second time penalty to add pain to his misery already. He's down into 15th place now, so he's falling down the order. But can he get back at Marcus in the Alfa Romeo? Not this time. 3-second time penalty for Roy Boy, so his race has got from bad to worse. It's Jaffa Baboon leading a train behind him of iQuicks, that goes very wide in that corner there, and that's going to really compromise him on the run into turn 1 now. So iQuicks is going to have a very good run on him as he's right behind him in the slipstream, tucked in behind the huts, both Ferrari powered, although it's equal performance for all the cars, not that it's going to matter. So iQuicks, as he goes across the line now, just to overtake him, is he going to make the move stick round the outside into turn 1? Jaffa Baboon goes very late on the brakes, and he manages to hold on. They touch, and that's going to compromise Quick's exit, as Elting is now going to go around the outside of turn 3, very ballsy around the outside. He's going to have DRS, but so is iQuicks as well in the Ferrari, and you've got FEL Freeze right behind them too. Gives him room on the outside. He forces him as wide as he can go within a car's length, but he cannot make that move stick now. But FEL Freeze is right behind him as well. He's going to sense the opportunity as he's got a bit squirmish on the exit there, but he's not able to make the move this time around as it's just lagging just a little bit on their service. And King Kiski is retired. King Kiski looks like he's out of the race, and that is a shame for him. This race just did not work out for him. And that is a real shame for him. There's been an incident further down As now we've got Kinkiski coming out of the pit lane, and oh, there's been an incident where Collie has gone very, very wide there. Not sure what's happened to him. Gone very wide there as Kinkiski now is being controlled by the bot. He's retired from the session. His bot's coming out. So I don't imagine he's going to be participating in the race much longer, but it's caused the yellow flag whilst people are trying to overtake him. It's now Vesta. Cannot seem to shake off AMC F33, so he got ahead of the Hush driver, but he's doing a great job to stick with him, so he's got plenty of pace, this young driver, so a lot of people with seats maybe available, including Huss, may want to keep an eye on him because he's definitely showing some good pace at the moment. The battle resumes at the front. MES Compassion 99 still sticking within 3/4 of a second of Plusenbowl, staying in DRS, doing what he needs to do. Is this his strategy? Is he looking to go the long game to try and see if he can get after him later on or maybe undercut? At the moment, Plusenbowl having a hard time trying to shake off the Red Bull driver. Let's go further down the order now for the battle for 9th and 10th between Jaffa Baboon and KJ Elting. FEL Freeze behind them as well. Obviously TTVI Quicks was in this battle. He seems to have fallen further behind as obviously isn't there as Jaffa Baboon goes very, very wide out of turn 1 and he's going to have to slow down. He's not going to be able to keep either position and joins the track in a very safe manner, but as a result drops down into 11th place and he will not have DRS, but he's in the slipstream of FEL Freeze who goes for a move. Not this time, but he's very late on the brakes, locks his brakes up. And a position change between those guys. So Jaffa Baboon, great job from him to stay safe, to avoid any collisions. But he's now down into 11th place after that mistake. And that is the nature of Formula EuroLeague and Champions League 2 mistake. Then you are straight off the road and you can lose positions just like that. It's very tight racing at the moment. It's what we want to see. Hope you're enjoying this race so far. Let me know in the comments section what you're thinking of this race so far. What's been your favourite moments? Who do you think is going to win this race? Who has been your surprise? And speaking of surprises, AMC F33 making a massive rookie mistake after an excellent drive so far in this opening stint. Gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Of course, we want to encourage quick driving, but there's a time and place, and the pit lane is certainly not the right time and place to be doing that. So now Compassion 99 is the closest he's been to Plusenbowl the whole race. Plusenbowl's been under immense pressure. He's not been given a moment's peace. He's literally having Compassion breathing down the back of his neck. You can literally feel that hot air coming from the back of that Ferrari. Can't be good for his tyres, Compassion. Of course, we're not aware of the performance of the drivers' tyres and how well they're holding up. But the battle for 8th and 9th now between AMC F33. You think KJ Elting had seen enough of one Huss. He's got the other one in front of him now, but he's already a pit stop ahead of him. So AMC F33, the last thing he's going to want to do now is get stuck further behind drivers who are running alternate strategies to him. But what are the leaders going to do now? Are they going to react to this early pit stops? No, they're going to stay out. So it looks like they're going to try and go for the one stopper. AMC F33 probably going to try and one stop now. He's got the hard tyres on, so he will try to go to the end. As the harder tyres will be trying the alternate strategy, which is to go hard long into the race and then put on the soft tyres for a massive sprint later on. So these two, last thing they're going to want to do is battle each other, wear their tyres out. Unlike these two, who's just swapped positions, but now the battle resumes. KJ Elting seems to still have a lot of grip on those harder tyres, and he's got DRS as well. Is he going to make the move up the inside of AMC F33? He's going to go for a lunge on the inside, and he makes the move stick, and that's a great move from KJ Elting up into 8th position. FEL Freeze has also passed Jaffa Baboon and the sister Huss. The Huss have lost 2 places in the same corner, just like that. It's getting from bad to worse for those guys. So the last thing they're going to want in this race, considering they've got a Constructors title that they're fighting for, 3rd at the moment, and that's not going to help their cause at all. And Ice-T in the Renault, well, he was having a very quiet race early on, but it looks like the race is going to come up to him now as AMC F33 gets another time penalty for multiple warnings. So time penalties galore. I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on those as the race goes on, ladies and gentlemen, so feel free to tally them up and let me know. But of course, those will have an effect later on in the race. It's Ice-T, yes, as I was saying, it was a quiet race for him, but he's got his teammate behind him who's made a massive charge. Both of them have, in fairness, from the back of the grid. So great drive from the Renault boys so far in the race. As Jaffa Baboon tries to go for a move at the outside into turn 1, and FEL Freeze, another great battle between them two, and this time Jaffa Baboon makes it stick. Back into the points once again, but now it's a compromised exit. As you can see, he swerves to the left hand side to try and break the toe, but FEL Freeze has such a pace advantage without DRS, and great traction coming off of turn 3, and he moves up into 10th again. This battle continues, and now Jaffa Baboon's got great traction off the corner. This is crazy between these two. The softer tyres of FEL Freeze seems to be struggling, and Jaffa Baboon can advantage with more durable, more grippier tyres at this stage of the race, and it looks like the softer tyres are starting to fall off. It may be time to see some of the soft tyre runners start to make their first pit stops of this race. As you can see, Compassion sticking within DRS of the Ferrari, stayed within half a second of Pluisenbold for a long time now. It'll be interesting to see if he is just biding his time, waiting for the moment to strike. He's not tried to make a lunge on the race leader yet, but he seems to be conserving his pace at the moment. Of course, that battle will continue, as does this one, between Jaffa Baboon and FEL Freeze, having part 52 of their ongoing battle in this Brazilian Grand Prix. And it looks like Jaffa Baboon may have won out this time, but the DRS for FEL Freeze is going to bring him right back into play once again. As this man, AMC F33, the last thing he would have wanted is to get stuck behind KJ Elting in the Renault. Unfortunately for him, he is, and this is compromising his race. Wanted to try and get an undercut on Avesta Racing and the leaders, and he's stuck behind the two Renaults at the moment. This is not going to help his cause at all. And he's falling further behind as the undercut is looking less and less likely now. There's been an incident, and his Heckkamper is retired from the race. So unfortunately for the two Toro Rossos, they're both out of the race. Heckkamper, great qualifying from him, but he's now retired after a poor opening lap and being involved in the incidents there. He is now out of the race. Such a shame. As you can see now, is that an unsafe release? Looked like it. Unfortunately, the stewards won't be doing anything about that. But it looks like SHR, MDG 2002, MDJ is out in 8th place, and Collie is stuck behind him. So Jaffa Baboon and FEL Freeze again up into 7th and 8th positions, but they still have to pit. So SHR is the leading car of those that haven't pitted now. Ice-T, the two Renaults are going to have a battle now between them two. What is going to happen there? Are the Renaults going to have team orders? Are they going to be in effect? Of course, I'm sure the Renault boss is getting on the radio of his two young drivers to try and swap positions, because at the moment Ice-T is holding up his teammate, who is clearly a lot faster than he is, as now MES Compassion now goes for the undercut. He's made his stop onto the harder tyres, so he's going to go to the end on those tyres. Great effort from him doing that many laps on him, but now Elton goes for the inside. He's got DRS on his teammate. Goes to the outside, I should say, sorry, and makes that move stick. Ice-T does not put up much of a fight, so it looks like the Renaults, was that an orchestrated move? Probably not. Hard to tell. But he's up into 4th place, KJ Elting, after starting from the very back of the grid with his teammate. Both the Renaults now running 4th and 5th, but they have to stop again. This man, however, does not have to stop again. Compassion gone for the undercut. He was two tenths, half a second really, behind his teammate. Sorry, not behind his teammate, behind Pluisenbold in the Ferrari in the lead of the race. Can he go fast enough? What will Pluisenbold do? Will he react to this? Will he make his first stop? You almost feel that perhaps he has to make this stop in order to stay ahead. And he still goes on. Interesting. So Matthias Gamer, runner-up in the Austrian Grand Prix, not having such luck this time around, has a time penalty again. So interesting, guys, let me know, do you think Pluisenbold should have pitted sooner? Because it looks like he may have opened the door to Compassion 99, who is gaining on him. To make a pit stop around here in Brazil and get in and out in the lead, you need around about 20 or so seconds, give or take. As Jaffa Baboon is now climbing up the order again, so now FEL Freeze has made his stop. So he pits onto the softer tyres now. Where is he going to come out? He's battling with GPRL, Jaffa Baboon in the points, who's going to continue on, but he's stuck behind the two Renaults, and KJ Elting is not exactly driven away from his teammate since the Renaults have swapped positions. Let me know, guys. Do you think Plusenbowl should have pitted? Avesta Racing, do you think he should have pitted maybe? Take advantage of this opportunity to undercut. Obviously, it seems perhaps these two are going to try and extend the stints as long as possible and put on the medium tyres towards the end. Might not be a bad strategy, but right now, this man, MES Compassion, is gaining and gaining and gaining on the leaders. He will most likely resume the lead once the pit stops have sorted themselves out, and we are now at the halfway point of the race, ladies and gentlemen, as Avesta Racing goes into pit. So what tyres is he putting on? Those look like yellow stripe mediums. They are indeed. So he's put the medium tyres on. And let's see what his pace is going to be like. But MES Compassion 99 was in front of him before. The undercut is going to cement that. Let's see what the gap is between them. And that's quite a sizable margin that he's pulled out. And Avesta Racing perhaps was out a lap too long because he's found himself behind the two Renaults. That's the last thing he would have wanted, but he's still ahead of AMC F33, who's on much older hard tyres. So I don't expect to hit him to give Avesta much trouble as this race proceeds on. Further down the order now, FEL Freeze is trying to go around the outside of a move on Max. He's got much fresher medium tyres on. Looks like he's going to try to go to the end of them. You can see that traction. The DRS and the Mercedes is going to make the move stick around the outside. He go wheel to wheel, but that's a great move from the outside from FEL Freeze. I tell you what, he has definitely been no stranger to overtakes today. You could have a highlight of his overtakes of this race on its own. It's been a great show from him, and he's up into 11th now. Obviously chasing down Jaffa Baboon, who's still got to make his second stop of the race. And now Plusenbowl just coming out of the pits now. So he's put on the medium tyres. Where is Compassion? He comes around turn one. It's going to be very tight between them. He's overtaking him around the outside. They're literally neck and neck. Who's going to get out there first? Is it going to be Plusenbowl or is it going to be MES Compassion? You can see they're right together, and Compassion takes the lead just ahead of Plusenbowl. So the undercut worked. Plusenbowl was out a lap too long. However, he is on the softer medium tyres, and those are going to get up to speed very quickly, and he's going to be all over the back of him now. As Jaffa Baboon has dropped into 8th place, so it might be time for him to change his tyres, as Max gets a time penalty again for multiple warnings. So quite a lot of corner cutting and exceeding track limits going on here. So let me know, guys, in the chat, who do you think is going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix now? You've got MES Compassion 99, who has taken the lead after that undercut. Avesta is now up into 4th place, or do you think it's going to be this man behind him, Plusenbowl, who's got the medium tyres in 2nd place? He's got the fresher tyres, he's got the softer tyres, he's gone around the outside, he's got a massive traction advantage and speed advantage, and he drives straight into the lead without DRS. He's got DRS now, and he's going to move into the lead. Great move, and Avesta Racing goes fastest of all with the fastest lap, and he goes ahead of KJ Elting, so he's now passed both the Renaults, so he can get on with his race, and maybe, just maybe, he might be able to catch MES_Compassion after all as well, as he's on the medium tyres too. So Compassion, yes, clever strategy to go for the undercut to get the lead, but now it hasn't really worked, and he's on harder tyres, older harder tyres I should say. This could be quite the concern for him as this race progresses on. Has he got the strategy wrong? We shall see. Of course, we've got 17 laps to go, or 16 after this one actually I should say, and of course those medium tyres will wear a lot quicker than the harder ones will, so maybe Compassion might come into this race at the end. But Plusenbowl, just as he did in Austria, is now starting to scamper away at the front, and at the moment it looks like something else is going to happen in this race to stop him from taking his second win in Formula EuroLeague Champions League 2. Yeah, that's definitely quite a mouthful, guys. You're going to have to let me know if there's a better name for that. So lap 21 of 36 now. If you've just joined us, it's been a great race so far. And of course, we're now into the second half of this race, as now the strategies will all start to play their part as all the drivers will start to a level playing field, as now we're going to be in for a lightning race as Jaffa Baboon goes around the outside of SHR and he makes the move stick. MDJ 2002 could not keep Jaffa Baboon back, who, bear in mind, was started at the very back of the grid after being disqualified from qualifying for parking on the pit lane next to it, of all things. Has been on those laps for tyres for 20 laps now. Great effort from him. Clearly those hard tyres still have some pace, and he's going to be lightning towards the end. The only thing I can think of is he's looking to put on soft tyres towards the end. So watch out for him towards the end of this race, ladies and gentlemen. He could become a big factor later on. Of course, he was battling with FEL Freeze earlier on, but he's got a bit of a train behind him now as well. So he's going to become under increasing pressure from the likes of MDJ and Collie as well in the Mercedes, who are on much fresher, harder tyres, having their own little battle for 8th and 9th as well, as we're on board with Collie now, looking for a move. There wasn't really an option there, but he goes very late on the brakes, almost into the back of MDJ. And he's going to be compromised massively on his way out, so he's going to have to get after him now. Now SHR MDJ goes for a move up the inside into turn 4, and he makes that one stick. So once again, DRS assisting the pass. Great move from him. I'll tell you what, Jaffa Baboon in particular as well, and FEL Freeze have really been in the wars today. Plenty of battles, plenty of overtakes. Definitely not having a boring race so far. As KJ Elting still holding on to the back of Avesta Racing. So Avesta Racing trying to get a move on with these medium tyres to chase after MES Compassion, but at the moment doesn't seem to be able to shake off the Renault. So Elting having a great race in the Renault, still showing plenty of pace and making great use of the DRS, and he might try and go for a move up the inside now. Is he going to make it work? Not the angle we want to see. We want to see him at the front after Avesta. As AMC 33 goes into the pits again. So he's talking off the hard tyres, so he's going for a 2-stopper as Jaffa Baboon goes to move around the outside, and he's going to get the inside line coming into turn 2, outside of turn 3, and he's got ahead of MDJ again. But this time you've got Collie. There's 3 of them now. It's going to be 3 wide going into turn 4. Who's going to get there first as Collie gets shoved out by Jaffa Baboon, and MDJ goes around the outside into turn 5 and makes the move stick again. What racing, and Jaffa Baboon still not giving up. These tyres are crying out for a rest. Oh, and he's braked very early, and Collie drove straight into the back of him. Not sure if he's got damage on that Mercedes for that. Not this time around, he's okay. This is some excellent racing going on here. And Marcus has moved ahead of Matthias Gamer, who's in the pits now, and Roy Boy as well. 2 drivers, 2nd and 3rd in the first race, having a complete contrast in fortunes this time around, as Elting now is going for a move on Avesta Racing in the Renault, and he's got to move around the outside, and that's a great move from him. Those hard tyres have done 23 laps. This is incredible stuff from KJ Elting. Incredible how he's managed to do that under that pace. There's now MDJ further down the field. Jaffa Baboon finally makes his stop onto the softer tyres now. Where is he going to fizzle out? Ice-T ahead of him also pits onto the soft tyres, so now their strategy is going to come into play. FEL Freeze with a massive undercut on Jaffa Baboon is going to come out ahead of him. It's AMC 33, started the race strong, went onto the hard tyres, decided to pin onto the soft tyres towards the end to go 2-stopper. Not sure if that was the right call for him, but he's come out ahead of his teammate now. So Jaffa Baboon, the experienced Haas driver, will definitely want to finish ahead of his teammate, making his debut for Haas and also in Formula European League, Champions League. Definitely need to find a new name for that one. I think FEL2 probably would suffice. Easier for me to say, probably easier for you to type in as well, but of course we'll leave that up to the administrators. There's a virtual safety car, so there's been an incident, and Marcus has retired, and Roy Boy is also ghosting as well, so not sure what happened to Marcus there. So Mattis Gamer overtaking him, so not sure what happened to Marcus there, whether he's given up the ghost or whether he's genuinely retired. But now MDJ And Collie using this as a great opportunity to get a free pit stop, or at least to minimise the damage. And they're going to come out on fresh soft tyres. And FEL Freeze now. He's going to see a McLaren and his teammate right there with him. And FEL Freeze not going to be happy with that. Neither is Jaffa Baboon and AMC 33. They have fallen down the order as a result of this virtual safety car. One driver would have loved to have taken advantage of it is this man, KJ Elting, but unfortunately was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but he's back underway, now down into 4th place. We didn't see that on the road, so Avesta got past him once again. And he dives into the pits this time around, so such a shame for him. The opportunity was there, but he just was not able to get to the pits in time. And Ice-T, another penalty for him, but very wide there, exceeding track limits. He's got a time penalty for that one. Will he come out ahead of his teammate? KJ Elting putting on the softer tyres now. His teammate coming through the back straight now to start another lap. What will happen between the two Renaults? Who's going to get out first? Is it going to be KJ_Elting, or is it going to be Ice-T 56? Who's going to get out first? It looks like Elting's going to be the favourite. As you can see, the two Renaults there, and Elting manages to hold on to his position. The two Renaults, must say, fantastic drive from these two in particular. Two of my drivers of the day. They've gone about their business very quietly, recovered from the back despite their poor showing in qualifying. And the Renault boss, Cyril Abiteboul, was the Renault boss for formerly EuroLeague and formerly EuroLeague Champions League 2. I'd be very delighted with the performance of the two young Renault drivers today. Great race pace as they've switched orders there. Very interesting. Was that a planned move? Did Elting pre-arrange with his teammate to let him back through after what happened earlier? Maybe. Didn't look like he made a mistake, didn't look like it, but now Ice-T up into 4th place. Will these two battle each other now? We're going to stick with this battle. Is Elting going to now battle his teammate for 4th place? Or is he going to let him drive off? Right now, both of which are 20 seconds behind Avesta Racing in 3rd place. So it looks like 4th place is going to be the best that these two are going to get, but it doesn't look like they're going to be respecting each other's positions so much. It looks like we're going to have a battle between the two Renault drivers. Elting gets a time penalty for cutting the corner. Looking through the order now, so FEL Freeze and Jaffa Baboon have reinvigorated their battle once again, just where they left off. As Jaffa Baboon goes to the inside, he's on fresher soft tyres. He should have the traction and the grip. He forces Freeze just wide. He manages to hold it out there on the outside. He's still there in the Mercedes. Is he going to go for a lunge? No, he yields. And this time, Jaffa Baboon gets ahead of him and now can get after his teammate once again. So the Mercedes and the Haas forming together a nice little sandwich. You've got the German Mercedes bread, the rye bread, and you've got the nice American cheese in the middle of the Haas. Quite the lunchtime delicacy for some on this Sunday afternoon in Brazil. And that'll be a battle worth keeping an eye on as this race comes to its conclusion. But once again, the Renaults, it looks like KJ Elting, if he let his teammate through, he's not going to stay behind him. He's swerving all over behind him, looking to try and make a move as he sets the fastest lap of the race, which I believe is worth an extra point, as he goes for a move at the inside and he overtakes his teammate, who's right behind him. He's right on his gearbox, so obviously they're not going to let this one go. The Renaults are having a great battle between them two. Oh, and they've touched. Oh, and Elting just going over to the right to nudge his teammate. Ice-T gets the shoulders out and gets back ahead of him, so the Renault's getting very feisty, racing for 4th and 5th. And now Elting's going to go for a move up the inside again, but he yields this time as Ice-T swerved right across him, but he goes for a lunge to the inside just to let him know his teammate is there to try and force the mistake. Not quite done this time around. Great battling between the two Renaults. Almost got very, very dangerous, similar to the incident between Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel at the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix, which saw both Ferraris retire. But this time the two Renaults, very aggressive, but no similar incidents for them. And they're able to continue on. So the Renault boss almost having a bit of a heart attack there, but his two drivers, despite the great showing they've shown so far, clearly with the intent to battle, as Elting goes for a dive bomb up the inside, a great lunge. Can he get into 4th place? Both of them wheel to wheel, they touch again, but it's very respectful despite the aggressiveness of Elting. A great lunge on the inside and he moves up into 4th place. So the Renaults A great battle unfolding between them two. And the Hasses as well, looking to have a great battle as well, as Jaffa Baboon looking to go round the outside of his teammate. Can he make it stick round the inside this time? And he does, up into 8th place as iQuicks gets another penalty, and the sister Ferrari is not really working out for him in this race as he's dropped down the order. But Jaffa Baboon, another driver who started dead last after qualifying, is now up into 8th position. Great stuff to see between those two. As all this is going on, as Eltink's now trying to get back up behind Ice-T once again. Is he going to go for a lunge up the inside this time? The two Renaults coming up into turn 1. Can they make this move stick? Eltink now go for a lunge, goes around the outside. Ice-T goes to the inside. They're swerving all over the place, trying to avoid hitting each other. Is he going to go for a lunge around the outside? He makes it, he locks the brakes, and he makes the move stick this time. That's a great overtake from Eltink, brilliantly done. And the two Hasses battling each other. AMC up the inside of his teammate. What a great battle. These Hass drivers contrasting races. AMC falling back down the order into the midfield. Jaffa Baboon coming up into the midfield from the back. And he makes the move stick, but now he goes to the outside this time. AMC trying to go for a move this time, and he just not holding. Goes to the inside of his teammate, and they've touched, and AMC has been sent spinning. The Haas drivers could not contain themselves as the Renaults racing very respectfully, as Ice-T has got ahead of his teammate once again, but now they've touched again. Wow, Ice-T lagging a bit there. They've touched as well, but where the Haas drivers could not keep it together, the Renault drivers once again survive. It's getting very tight, and this is only helping Mr. MDJ and the McLaren behind them, and also Collie in the sister Mercedes to FEL Freeze. And well, 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you'd be forgiven for thinking of what was going ahead, but this is where the battle is at the moment, and the two Renault drivers going all over the place. You can see Eltink going left, he goes right, he goes left again, and goes for a move up the inside. Brilliantly done, another fantastic overtake. These two in particular having their own little highlight reel as Ice-T goes around the outside, very, very wide there. That's going to compromise him. He's now going to catch our breath now, but FEL Freeze, battle for 9th and 10th place between FEL Freeze and just Mortal Veloz. Mortal Veloz getting a great run on him. He's on the inside now. He's got fresher soft tyres. FEL Freeze, like a sitting duck, cannot defend, and he falls down into 10th place. Those medium tyres starting to wear off now, and he's starting to fall further back as he's now down into 10th place. Great move from just Mortal Veloz in the sole point scoring racing point. His teammate Roy Boy, brilliant performance from him to get on the podium in the opening race. Not able to keep that going, as Max has had an incident. Now he's going to get in the way of the leaders, possibly, as he's got out of the way, not to impede the leader or his teammate. You can't see him on the screen now, he's ghosting. Blusenbowl leading the race on the medium tyres, doing what he needs to do to make sure that he can get his second win of the season. MES_Compassion Racing also ghosting through as Ice-T has retired from the session. So what has happened there? Both the Renaults are out. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Both of the Renaults have retired from this race. Do not know what has happened there. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry, but it seems that Ice-T has gone into the pit lane and retired. Eltink as well. So I'm not sure what's happened, if they've disconnected or if they've retired, but so both the Renaults playing with fire, and they've got burned in the worst possible way. Both of them were set to score big points, and they're both out of the race. What a shame. I'm sure the Renault boss is absolutely furious with his drivers. They have somehow, both of them are out of this race. Of course, we'll have to ask them later what happened, and I do apologise for what's happened there, but they're both out of the race. As Ice-T just pulls over to the side now with Blusenbowl now. MES Compassion just cannot seem to catch the race leader. Avesta Racing, despite being on fresher tyres and faster tyres, cannot seem to make a dent. So the top 3 at the moment staying as they are. It's now the battle for now what is 4th and 5th place between MDJ in the McLaren and Collie in the Mercedes. Not the best qualifying for these two, but they found themselves in a very good position at the moment. As Just Mortal Veloz now and FEL Freeze having another battle for 7th and 8th position now. FEL Freeze hanging in there, trying to see if he can recover. And Jaffa Baboon up into 6th place. Can he get involved in the battle for 4th and 5th places? He's not too far away on the softer tyres. It's Junior and Max having a battle. Max goes round the inside into turn 1. Max Bot, I should say, as Junior goes round the outside of Max Bot in the Williams to go into 11th place. Not in the points. As now both of them look like they're going to be lapped. As you know, it's not really Max Bot, I should say. Oh no, they've touched. They've touched. They've collided with each other. Both the lap cars for 11th, 12th, and that's allowed Avesta Racing to manage to get away and avoid that incident. Now just a few laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know who you think your driver of the day was. I was going to pick one of the Renault drivers, but they're both out of the race now after that incident, which is such a shame. And now Collie goes up the inside of SHR MDJ for 4th position. So Mercedes starting to get further up the order. Can they get onto the podium? As MDJ looking for a move for the inside, very tight into turn 1. Can Mercedes get their first big points of the season? Already got 4 points from the opening race, as MDJ cannot get back at him. But interestingly enough, the battle for the race lead and the race win looks like it might resume in its dying clutches. The dying embers of this race now. 2 laps to go. Plusenbol has led from the start of this race in the Ferrari and is now coming under to increasing pressure from the Red Bull of MES_Compassion 99. The Red Bull look like, as I said earlier, the harder tyres may not be the right choice. But now the medium tyres are starting to fall off the cliff, and Plusenbol looks like he is struggling with Compassion now closing right up behind him. Are we going to see a grandstand finale towards the end of this race? As we'll get back to that now, as Mortal Veloz and FEL Freeze reconvening their battle once again, as Freeze goes round the outside into turn 1, DRS assisted, and he's up into 7th position. Great stuff from him. So with the leaders once again, as Mortal Veloz tries to go around the outside into turn 4, and he makes that move stick round the outside of FEL Freeze, and there's been an incident further up the racing. And it's like one of the Williams Junior spams has gone down and out of the race. Down in 14th, he's still able to continue. Final lap now. Can Plusenbol, can he bring it home? This has been a fantastic race so far, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you agree. Please give it a massive thumbs up. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. It's been an excellent race. Let me know who you think has been your driver of the day. Right now, we are coming to the dying embers of this race, the final curtain call. It's Plusenbol versus MES_Compassion 99 on the final lap. Is it going to be double bubble for the Ferrari driver, the championship leader? Is he going to make a 2 out of 2? Or will we see our second winner of the second division of Formula Euro League in Compassion 99? Can he get through? FEL Freeze has overtaken Mortal Veloz. We'll get back to that soon, but we're sticking with the leaders as they now come through the final corner. It looks like Compassion is going to run out of time, just to the point where Plusenbol was starting to run out of tyres. Is now the long drive down the back straight. It's been a race for the ages, a great drive of all, but it's been won. It's double bubble for Plusenbol in the Ferrari. He wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Compassion 99 second in the Red Bull. Great drive from him. And Avesta Racing getting his first podium. Has a time penalty, but this will not be a problem for him. He finishes 3rd for Williams. And now we have the battle for 4th and 5th between Collie and MDJ in the McLaren. Penalties, don't forget guys, they're going to shape up the order, so keep an eye on this timesheet on the left. The classification could change. Collie comes across the line in 4th, MDJ in 5th. Jaffa Baboon, excellent drive from him from the very back of the grid, finishes 6th. FEL Freeze and Just Mortal Veloz coming to the line, stay 7th and 8th. And AMCF 33, a very mixed drive from him, started the race so well in 4th, was challenging for the podium, was not able to see it through. The strategy not quite there, coming in 9th position. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of great drives all around. But there can only be one winner, and it is this man, Ploossenbol in the Ferrari, the championship leader, makes it 2 out of 2 in the Formula Euroleague Champions League 2. The second division of Formula Euroleague seems to have already unearthed a potential star who is definitely making waves and headlines up the order. And having seen some of the other drivers competing against him, it's very fair to say this man is definitely going to take some beating this season. Can he continue this form and go on to win the championship? Can Ferrari finally herald a new hero to the team? And is the final classification. Ploossenbol, race winner, 2 out of 2 for FEL Championship 2 with the win. MES Compassion 99 second, followed him all the way in the Red Bull. Avesta Racing on the podium for Williams, great job from him. Collie in fourth in the Mercedes, great drive after starting just in the top 10, finishing fourth. SHR MDJ further down the order, he started 7th, finishing in 5th, great drive from him. Jaffa Baboon started at the back of the grid, I should say, finished in 6th. My driver of the day, starting dead last, coming in 6th, brilliant drive from him. FEL Freeze in the Mercedes, what a drive from him, coming in 7th. Mortal Falos in 8th. AMC F33 didn't work out for him on the strategy, finishing 9th, and TTV underscore iQuicks getting a double point score on Ferrari. Brilliant drive from him, must be said, starting 18th and falling down the order, and he finishes in 10th position. So I hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Formula Euroleague channel as Formula_Euro_League. I'm sure you will agree that was a great way to sign off the second round of the Formula Euroleague Championship. And of course, let's not forget a day where we need to celebrate and pay tribute to the late Sir Stirling Moss. I'm sure he would have been very, very impressed by the racing that was on show today. So of course, the small matter of the Formula Euroleague race that's happening later today, so that's the Formula Euroleague Japanese Grand Prix. Make sure to tune with us as well for that race. That's at 6:45 European time, 7:45 European time, I should say, 6:45 UK time, excuse me. And also make sure to give it a like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also follow us on Instagram as well with Formula_Euro_League and FEL_Champions League 2 for this division as well. And of course, don't forget to go on the website, forgot to mention that. If you go on the website, type in f1europeanleague.wixsite.com/Formula Euroleague. You can check that link out on the bio for Formula Euroleague's Instagram page as well. So make sure to check that out. It's got plenty of your favourite drivers, plenty of great content from everyone involved. And for those of you tuning into the Euroleague race tonight, I will see you then. For those of you that enjoy this coverage, please like, share and subscribe. I've been your commentator, Adam Burns, and I will see you in the next Formula European League Champions League event, this time next week. Take care.